Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate and today I will be teaching you how to paint these easy watercolor cattails. Let's get started. To start this painting, we are going to jump straight into painting. So I am going to grab my flat brush and I'm going to fill it up with clean water, and I'm going to fill in my entire page with this clean water. I'm going to do a nice generous amount just because I want to make sure it'll stay wet long enough for me to work with the back layer that I have. And I've already mixed up my paint colors off to the side. If you'd like all of the paint color combinations that I made, just head over to my blog. I'll have a link in the description box below, and there you can find the exact paint colors that I used to get this sunset that we're going to be creating. Alright, so now I'm going to go into my paint with my flat brush. I'm just sticking with the same brush and it's already damp, so I'm going to go into this peach color that I made, and right in the center, a little bit above center, I am just going to paint in this peachy color. I'm doing this color first because it is going to be our lightest color, and I don't want it to get muddied too quickly. I want it to be very bright, and then we can just blend all the other colors into it. Okay, so now I'm going to clean my brush off. And then I'm going to go into this purple paint mixture I already created, and I'm going to start adding that to the top. And I'm just going to let that blend down into that peach color. And go back over it with some darker paint. And then with that same purple, I'm going to come right below that peach color and just add in a nice section there of that purple. I really love this purple color that I ended up making. I used violet and burnt sienna, and I think it just turned out absolutely beautiful. Alright, so now I'm going to clean my brush off again, and I'm going to go into this blue paint mixture, and I'm going to fill in the rest of our painting with the blue. And I'm just going to come up to that purple and blend that together. So right now these colors are very pale, and I know that I'm going to want to add a second layer. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let this layer completely dry, and then I'm going to come back with the exact same paint colors, and I'm just going to add a second layer of paint on top of it the exact same way we just did. So now what we're going to do is we are going to paint in our cattails with a size 2 round brush. I may switch over to my size 6 round brush. We'll see how it goes, but for right now we are going to be using the size 2 round brush just to get those really thin, small lines. So now I'm going to go into my black, Payne's Gray, and ultramarine blue paint mixture, and I'm going to start painting in my cattails by just painting in really quick line motions coming up from the bottom left side of the page. So you're gonna see that I just start down at the bottom left and I just really quickly whip my brush up, and even if it doesn't go as far as you want, you can just continue right above that line and just kind of make these quick, loose line motions, and this will be the basis for our cattails. Continue adding these lines until you feel like your painting is full and that there is enough going on, but not to where it's too cluttered, to where you can't really add any of the cattail bulbs. So now I'm going to switch over to my size 6 round brush, and I am going to start adding the bulbs to the top of the cattails. Now in this step, I start by using just the tip of my brush, and then I press down the full belly of the brush onto the page, and then I lift back up into the tip. You are going to see later on in my painting tutorial that I switch up how I paint these cattails. So right now, this is just adding the base basically from our finished product, and then I'm going to be rounding off the edges in a later step. So right now I'm just adding in all of the bulbs where I want them. I don't add it to every single line, I only add it to a few, and I even paint in a couple other lines that I didn't already have in place that I just felt like was a dead space that needed those cattail bulbs. So just take your time and add the bulbs where you want. You can follow along exactly with how I'm doing it, but I did want to point out that I am not going to leave them with a tip, like a pointed tip. I am going to round them off and then add the tiny little pointed part that comes out afterwards. And when I was just done with the painting, I really felt like that finished it off. So now you're just going to see me going into my black and blue paint, and I'm just going to be rounding off the top and the bottom of my cattails. And then once I have every cattail rounded, I take the very tip of my brush and I add a tiny little line coming off the top of the cattail. And then I splatter in the black and blue paint just to kind of give it that loose feel and just to give it a little bit of an extra detail, but you don't have to splatter your paint if you don't want to. And then once your painting dries, you are done. Hey everyone, thanks for painting with me today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and found it helpful. If you did, please subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up. If you'd like any extra details on this painting, head over to my blog, Reflecting Creation. I'll have a link in the description box below. I hope to see you again soon. Bye.